Sometimes it's or the Green Mile.
Coming up tonight on NBN News, candidates on the hustings. The election campaign continues in the Hunter. Your story with local GP Dr Annette Carruthers and our exclusive chat with the night's Phoenix Crossland. NBN News tonight at 6.
Lazy Larry, the self-proclaimed billionaire, making tenants live in filth.
That's human feces on the ground.
A current affair tonight.
As a fresh Aldi mushroom, I'll work anywhere. Sliced or whole, I work in pasta, breakfast, salady things. I'll even drop my price. But I don't do what I call a chit-chat. Waste of time. Aldi, good different.
NRMA Insurance is proud to announce that we now offer home loans. With years of experience helping Australians protect their homes, we understand just what you need when it comes to owning one. Like a competitive low rate. And you can apply in as little as 15 minutes. Because that's what a help company would do. Apply for an NRMA home loan today. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
I'm local born and bred, and like most people around here, I'm a doer. I'm your federal Labor MP, Meryl Swanson. I said I'd upgrade Newcastle Airport and did. Said I'd get the M1 extension happening and did. Said I'd help get same job, same pay for miners and did. So you know when I say I'm delivering a free Medicare urgent care clinic in Maitland, it will happen.
Authorised D. Offner, Labor, Sydney.
Every Easter, Amanda Boyd looks forward to her Mahjong team's annual road trip. Martin Boyd looks forward to a trip under the bonnet. Happy Easter, Marty. However you Easter, make it super. Super Cheap Auto.
Introducing the all-new Sealy Posturepedic Acclaim, a breakthrough in sleep technology that senses and responds, helping to align your body. Innovation never felt so good. In store now.
Global pop phenomenon Six the Musical arrives at the Civic Theatre on the 10th of April. The 6 wives of Henry VIII are ready to take the mic in this 80-minute musical sensation. Book today.
Doors Plus Easter sale is on this week. For a limited time, when you buy any door, save an extra 15% off framework. Plus, with up to 50% off fully installed packages, why shop anywhere else? Easter sale on this week. Doors Plus, no fuss.
Don't let heel pain hold you back. Good Feet Art supports a clinically proven relief from plantar fasciitis and the pain in the balls of your feet. Head to goodfeet.com/au to find your nearest store, and don't let pain sideline you any longer.
Australia, it's truth time at a brand new time. That's right, the 100's going prime time, baby.
What percent of the 100 have cooked for someone famous?
What's famous? You famous?
Andy's back with the funniest stars on the planet.
David Walliam. Have you ever been asked to write a book?
Yeah.
Have you ever been asked to read a book?
And nothing is off limits.
Can you tell whether they're going to stay together? Oh, yeah.
You thought we'd last?
No, I thought...
Oh, you could
The 100 at the new time tonight, 7:30 on 9 and 9 Now. This program brought to you by Harvey Norman for everything you need in furniture, bedding, home appliances and technology.
Coming up on NBN News, the election campaign continues. The PM pushing for a pay rise for our lowest paid workers. Thousands of doctors expected to strike for 3 days. How it will impact patient care. US prosecutors seek the death penalty for accused CEO assassin Luigi Mangione. King Charles returns to official duties after a hospital stay. And our exclusive chat with Phoenix Crossland on bringing a premiership back to Newcastle. Stay with us. NBN News is next.
Before we went to the newsroom.
Tonight, breaking news in the Claire Nowlan case. Prosecutors to appeal the sentence given to the police officer who tasered her. Thousands of public hospital doctors set to walk off the job in a strike we haven't seen for 30 years. The PM's pay rise promised to millions of evening. Thousands of New South Wales public hospital doctors will strike for 3 days next week. Frustrated, their demands for a 30% pay rise haven't been met. The action is in defiance of an order from the Industrial Relations Commission, but doctors say the solution is in the Premier's hands.
A hospital system that saves lives, but according to doctors, is now itself on life support.
I've never done this before in my life. Most doctors find it very uncomfortable, including me. We're only doing this because we're desperate.
Thousands of doctors walking off the job from Tuesday to Thursday next week. The first strike action of this kind in almost 30 years.
Unsustainable workloads, chronic understaffing.
Triggered by 18 months of failed negotiations with the state government, the union representing doctors calling for a 30% pay rise.
It equates to around about $75,000 for an individual doctor, but to try and make that up in a single year is not possible.
Junior doctors here are the lowest paid in the country on a base salary of $76,000.
They are fleeing the state to go to states that are actually properly resourced to train them.
Specialist and senior doctors also among the exodus, unable to resist an almost 40% pay rise interstate.
And that is like watching the logging of old growth forest. It'll take a generation to replace them.
A similar story for their nursing and psychiatric colleagues. The state government's move to scrap the public sector wages cap broke a decade-long ceiling on pay rises. That has seemingly led to more pain than gain, with the government now facing arguably the biggest simultaneous rebellion across the medical field the state has ever seen.
I'm getting really worried about patient safety in New South Wales Health.
During the strike, there will be minimum staff, but critical care and emergency departments will not be affected. Hayley Francis, NBN News.
At the height of his fame, Val Kilmer was a Hollywood heartthrob and leading man, playing Batman, Jim Morrison and Maverick's rival Iceman in Top Gun. Tonight he's being remembered for his incredible dedication to his roles, having sadly passed away from pneumonia, aged 65.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Val Kilmer oozed charisma, and his part as Tom Cruise's rival in Top Gun would be his big break, despite initially dismissing the role of Iceman as silly.
It was fun to play up the conflict between our characters, but in reality I've always thought of Tom as a friend, and we've always supported each other.
Raised in the San Fernando Valley, not far from Hollywood, he made his feature debut in 1984. Kilmer was known to lose himself in his often tormented roles, and it was his gritty and raw performance as rock star Jim Morrison in the 1991 film The Doors which cemented his career, spending 6 months learning how to sing the band's songs.
Girl, we couldn't get much higher. Yeah!
He would take on the Batsuit in Batman Forever.
To me, darkness is as clear as daylight.
Starring alongside Nicole Kidman.
Poor Val would have to put the mask on and couldn't hear when he had it on and couldn't breathe properly.
And take part in one of the most iconic action shootouts for Heat. Off-screen, he was elusive, preferring to spend time with his 2 children. In 2014, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer, but recovered.
I have without putting this hole. This is because they put a piece of plastic down my breathing tube.
A documentary exploring his life and career was made in 2021.
I have behaved poorly. I have behaved bravely. I have behaved bizarrely to some. I deny none of this and have no regrets.
But his final movie appearance would be back where it all began, a cameo alongside Tom Cruise in the 2022 Top Gun sequel.
The Navy needs Maverick.
His daughter telling the New York Times he died from pneumonia. He was 65. In the United States, Lauren Tomasi, NBN News.
The Prime Minister has pledged to help raise the wages of Australia's lowest paid workers, pushing for an above-inflation boost to pay packets. But opposition leader Peter Dutton says Anthony Albanese is to blame for sending households backwards.
On a mid-morning, mid-week house call,
I feel it's like an episode of The Block.
Peter Dutton constructing a picture of pain in the suburbs of Melbourne.
Your energy bills, rates going up, it's a big struggle.
The government solution, seeing wages rise more.
We want the Australian people to vote for higher wages and lower taxes.
In a submission to the Independent Fair Work Commission recommending an above-inflation wage rise, while no figure was specified, a minimum wage of $24.10 an hour would increase to at least $24.70. For the most common retail award, $25.65 an hour would become $26.27.
It doesn't go to savings. They do spend it because they're doing it tough.
Mr Albanese can talk about putting up wages. Real wages have gone down under this government.
What a fibber, muttered Bree.
As the Prime Minister recruited help from small friends, small business cried foul, saying another increase will cost businesses and jobs.
If we want to keep people in jobs, then we've got to be responsible. We can't be agreeing to an increase that goes well above inflation.
By promising a modest pay rise to go with the modest pay cut in taxes, the government is daring the opposition to side with business over workers.
That's how much living costs have gone up for the typical working family in Australia. That red bar.
We support wage increase.
But the Prime Minister says he'll push for wage jumps regardless.
So far overlooked, has gone into bat for funding.
Sodden fields at Upper Reserve in Wallsend have caused touch games to be cancelled time after time.
The fields are quite undulating and the water just sits, it doesn't drain.
Today, Labor announced that if re-elected, it will spend $3 million on new drainage, a project expected to take 12 months.
This is really a lot of work that's going to be required underground in order to make the surface the best playing surface we can have.
But the Liberal candidate for Patterson claims voters should be sceptical.
The Labor Party are fantastic at making announcements, extremely poor on delivery.
Lawrence Ancliffe addressing a Newcastle announcement while spruiking one of his own at Rutherford. $1.65 million for Max McMahon Oval.
I had a tour with the club a couple of weeks ago and I was blown away with how poor the conditions are here.
But over at Maitland's Robbins Oval, City United Cricket is appealing for a cash splash this campaign.
So we'd love to see new cricket nets to be able to support the growing participation across Maitland, but also lighting across Maitland Park.
The club hoping to better accommodate its 2,800 members.
We have to share 8 teams across 4 days of training, which is very, very difficult.
If funding is granted, Cricket New South Wales says members won't need to wait long for the upgrades, with new nets with 8 lanes able to be delivered within 6 months.
Cricket Australia haven't talked to me about that yet, but I'm sure that they will reach out. And we have, through the Play Our Way grants, we've been providing money to a large range of sporting organisations right across the country.
Lawrence Ancliffe also indicating his support.
I always fight for sport. I'm very passionate about our community and our sporting facilities.
Risa Utama, NBN News.
Labor today also touted the agreement to fund New South Wales public schools. MPs joining the Teachers Federation outside the Hunter School of Performing Arts to claim the coalition would scrap the historic deal.
This is the opportunity where we can focus on the needs of our students with more teachers so that we can provide that one-on-one support. But again, like I said, it is all at risk should Peter Dutton be elected Prime Minister.
The coalition says the Dutton government will match dollar for dollar all school funding agreements with the states and territories. A 43-year-old man has been charged after a brass plaque of Newcastle's coat of arms was allegedly found in his camper van. Police searching the vehicle on Horseshoe Beach Road yesterday, allegedly locating a small amount of cannabis and the plaque. It's understood it had been displayed in Wheeler Place. The man is due to face Newcastle local court on April 24. 3 men have been charged following an alleged break-in at a business at Chittaway Bay on the Central Coast. Police say a cash machine was stolen from Chittaway Bay Tavern just before 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Officers then raided a home on Langford Drive at Carryong, arresting 3 men and allegedly finding $50,000 in cash, tools and safes. The men, aged 26 and 29, face multiple charges, including aggravated break-and-enter and possession of prohibited weapons and drugs. A new study is investigating the role genetics and chronic disease play in a person's nutrition. Hunter researchers are examining why people respond to dietary plans differently, and they're looking for locals to help them out.
You get out what you put in. It's the age-old saying now being questioned by Hunter researchers.
A really important phenomena that we're observing is that not everybody responds the same to a nutrition intervention.
And even how we chew can actually affect how we digest, absorb and respond to diets.
Researchers at HMRI and the University of Newcastle are investigating how genes and chronic conditions such as high blood pressure and heart disease affect a person's nutrition. The 12-month study has been funded by NIB and is being carried out in 2 phases. The first involving a larger group of individuals from across Australia.
We're going to measure what people eat, get them to fill in a range of wellbeing questionnaires, because we want to understand how what you eat and how what you eat changes over a year, how that relates to wellbeing and mental health.
The second phase, a more in-depth approach, will see Hunter locals undergo a series of tests.
We're measuring, for example, how fast people chew, and we're measuring their gut transit time, and we're measuring their microbiome.
The aim to help dietitians provide more tailored support to clients through personalised food lists and meal plans. While anyone can apply to be a part of the study, researchers are particularly keen to hear from people with health risks.
We are looking for people who do have high blood pressure, who do have diabetes, who do have heart disease.
It's almost like a nice little health check for them.
To check your eligibility, visit the University of Newcastle website. Isabella Evans, NBN News.
A dozen schools across the Narrabri Shire in the northwest closed today after more than 40 millimetres of rain caused flash flooding. Meanwhile, the Kamilaroi Highway was closed between Weewaw and Narrabri this morning, and a section of the Carnarvon Highway between Moree and Garra reopened just before 1 p.m. The Nemoy River is likely to remain over the moderate flood level into tomorrow, and that's when schools are expected to reopen. Plenty of cloud across our region throughout today, but it's already beginning to clear across the Central Coast. That kept temperatures down. It was certainly a little bit cool right throughout this morning, but then warming generally into the low 20s. But we only reached 19 at Scone and a mere 14 degrees at Murrurundi. Winds easing, season swell too, and better days ahead. I've got all of your local weather details coming up soon. Stay with us. Still ahead on NBN News. Donald Trump's trade war about to deepen. Will Aussie beef be in the firing line? A new twist following the injury to Virginia Giuffre. With revelations she'll face court next month. And huge surf slams into our coast. An icon copping a battering.
ANZ Plus helps you get your money sorted, so you can think about other things like the Roman Empire, needing to sneeze, Alaskan Malamutes, German techno, that actor from that TV show.
My name's David.
Your neighbour Paul. Oh, and you're missing bomber jacket. ANZ Plus has powerful tools that give you more confidence, so you can spend less mind on money.
Are you gambling with your career? Be aware. Visit Gamble Aware for information or confidential support.
It's so awkward to brush in circles at the back. What if I don't?
Plaque will build up.
Dr. Rob?
And plaque build-up can lead to cavities. Switch to Oral-B IO. The round brush head hugs each tooth to clean even your back molars to remove up to 100% more plaque. Try Oral-B IO.
Universities matter because of what matters to us, like teachers with real classroom experience. For more ways universities benefit us all, visit universitiesmatter.edu.au.
Ooh, should have gone to Specsavers. It's the Specsavers store-wide Spextravaganza. Get any 2 pairs for just $199, save up to $200. Limited time only.
I'm Lawrence Aircliffe, your Liberal candidate for Patterson. A Liberal government will deliver $100 million to build the second Maitland Park roundabout flyover. It will end the traffic nightmare and keep Maitland moving. With your support, I'll get the flyover built.
Authorised by Sea Australian Liberal Sydney.
The Avida Explorer LX camper van. Explore further.
If you're an executor of a will, do you understand your risks and responsibilities?
As an executor, you need clarity. For an informative chat,
turn to the experts at Turnbull Hill Lawyers.
Good people to turn to.
NBN News can reveal that prosecutors will appeal the community corrections order given to the police officer who fatally tasered Claire Nowlan, calling it manifestly inadequate. It's a small glimmer of hope for 95-year-old Miss Nowlan's family, who sat down with reporter Annalise Bolt following last Friday's sentence.
This is Claire Nowlan, hours before she was tasered, enjoying a cuppa and reminiscing.
I think we've had a good life in Cooma, haven't we?
I think so.
Well, I have.
Well, I have.
The full life of a great-grandmother, knitter, Rabbitohs fan and adventurer.
That's her on top of Australia.
But her memory will forever be tarnished by the way she died at the hands of a police officer.
At 95, we could accept our mother would die, but to go the way she has is just unacceptable. It's just something I'll never ever get over.
She was wandering her Cooma nursing home with a steak knife in the early hours in May 2023 when Constable Christian White arrived on scene and pulled out his taser.
He had control of that weapon. He loaded the weapon and he pointed the weapon and discharged the weapon. It's a deliberate action that needs to be punished.
12 years in the force, but White negotiated for less than 3 minutes.
She was frail, she was hanging onto a walker. She didn't comprehend what they were saying. She must have been terrified. To say that, that she was a threat was just, that really hurt me.
The 35-year-old father is guilty of manslaughter. His punishment, a 2-year community corrections order, effectively a good behaviour bond.
He has taken a life. There should be some consequences for that.
And the DPP agrees, today confirming it will appeal the sentence.
We just got to get a sentence that matches the crime, and I'll keep saying, all we want is justice.
But nothing will heal the Nowlands' heartache that Claire wasn't protected.
Because I could have talked to Mum and just said, come on Mum, let's go back to your room.
So it's affected the whole family.
Oh, definitely affects every single one of us.
For almost 2 years, the Nowlands have been forced to share their small Snowy Mountains town with the man who killed their matriarch. Christian White hasn't been seen since the sentence and will now be waiting to find out what an appeal could mean for his freedom.
You'll never get another Claire Nowland, I can tell you.
Annalise Bolt, NBN News.
The search for a man missing in floodwater at Brett Eye Reserve north of Gloucester has been suspended. A multi-agency operation was launched on the weekend after a Sydney man believed to be aged in his 70s was swept off a causeway in his SUV on Saturday night. It's understood he was towing a caravan at the time. Both that and the SUV were located on the first day of the search. However, there's been no sign of the man and the search was suspended at around 4:30 this afternoon. The ocean unleashed its fury along our coast today as monster swells combined with the king tide battered beaches. In Sydney, Bondi's famous iceberg suffered major damage as giant waves smashed through the club.
In the middle of the night, a break and enter at the iconic icebergs. To blame, a force of nature, huge surf and a king tide upending the office. The outdoor pool swallowed up by the ocean, a postcard favourite now. It's a mountainous swell which has Sydney's foreshore at its knees, barrelling with brute power. At the harbour's heads, Manly's fast ferry riding the wave, along with the bravest of board riders, conquering 6-metre barrels in the depths of the deep blue. On shore, supersized debris became a spectacle.
I just feel bad for all the tourists that are coming here that just landed today that are coming to see the icebergs, and it's ruined.
This is where that 15-metre high mammoth wave made impact, ripping a 20-tonne water tank from its foundations.
Unfortunately, we're in the hundreds of thousands.
Usually a mill pond, today an angry body of water. Botany Bay boiling over in the early hours of this morning. The sheer force shredding slabs of concrete.
I've never seen anything in 20 years like this.
With similar scenes at Cronulla. At Dolls Point, living rooms to pools.
Oh my God.
Residents hemmed in, tested by this tumultuous tide.
Bro, look at Steph's car. Goodbye, Steve's house.
Steve Somdelis and his 22-month pregnant wife waded out in thigh-high water.
That car, you couldn't see the back tail light. You couldn't even see the Toyota sign.
George Phillips is now in hospital with a broken leg after slipping on mud in his garage.
I fall down and I twist my knee. I can't walk.
Madison Scott, NBN News.
The Hunter Coast also copped the monster swell with huge waves inundating Newcastle beaches and ocean baths. Further north, a lifeguard tower was toppled at Surfers Paradise, while beaches already battered by Cyclone Alfred have seen further erosion. Thankfully, the damaging conditions are easing, but hazardous surf warnings remain in place for both states. Yes, rain also returned to the saturated grounds of northern New South Wales and south east Queensland today. Still overcast on the harbour, but generally fine for the Hunter. The large cloud band over eastern Australia is beginning to clear as it links up with the offshore low, which is now moving away from the coast. The rain has been streaming down, but it is also beginning to break up. With these systems, they're getting ready to move on. A fine run of sunshine and warmth is ready to return to the central coast and Greater Hunter. Northwest and mid-north coast, showers are going to linger over the northeastern corner of New South Wales. From the western slopes to the northern rivers and southeast Queensland, those conditions will also ease. Stay with us. Coming up next, an alarming sight on one of Sydney's new driverless trains. A new volcanic eruption triggers evacuations in Iceland. And in tonight's Your Story, meet the Hunter doctor behind an Australian first health service.
G'day, I'm Dan Repicoli, and as one of the few tradies in federal parliament, I'm about actually getting things done that matter to the hunter, like same job, same pay and free TAFE, the Cessnock Medicare Urgent Care Clinic and the Singleton Bypass. The big stuff matters, but the little stuff does too, like upgrading local sporting facilities. I love our community and I'll always fight for us.
Authorised D. Offner, Labor, Sydney.
Getting my script tonight is so simple.
Over 2 million Australians have turned to instant scripts for their healthcare needs. Our doctors are here for you 24/7.
How'd they get in there?
Price check on baked bean, hot cross buns.
Disgusting.
Forget the fad flavours and get the fabulously fresh hot cross buns. Baked today, this Easter at Baker's Delight.
Give your home a fresh look with 20% off all lights and 15% off all fans at Beacon's Home Reno sale. That's 20% off lights and 15% off fans at Beacon. Sale on now.
Make Easter super at Super Cheap Auto. Save 30% on the Bowden's Own detailing range when you buy 3 or more. Or get 20% off Century Automotive and 4-wheel drive batteries. Plus club members get $5 credit for every 100 spent. Make it super. Super Cheap Auto.
Head & Shoulders is launching something huge. The bare minimum. Minimal ingredients anti-dandruff shampoo with clinically proven dandruff protection. Head & Shoulders Bare. Job done.
Wear for front seat crooners and back seat belters. Those recharging their batteries.
Give it a try.
And those needing a new one.
Thanks so much. No problem.
Wear for helping a member every 30 seconds.
Thanks, mate.
Like Oliver, who just locked his keys in the car. Again. Join Australia's largest roadside assistance network with complimentary My NRMA rewards. Search NRMA Roadside.
Go Harvey Norman for Dyson's new invention that washes hard floors properly. Microfiber rollers use clean water to wash, then finish, cleaning your hard floors, then itself. Powerful hygienic washing of hard floors at Harvey Norman now.
Doors Plus Easter sale is on this week. For a limited time, when you buy any door, save an extra 15% off framework. Plus, with up to 50% off fully installed packages, why shop anywhere else? Easter sale on this week. Doors Plus, no fuss.
Harvey Norman, everything you need for sleep comfort and bedroom style. Discover the luxurious and elegant J Queen quilt cover sets, designed in New York and exclusive to Harvey Norman. Queen size starting from just $169 at Harvey Norman, your bedding specialists.
Global pop phenomenon. Today.
Passengers on Sydney's Metro had a nervous ride this morning with a carriage door wide open as the driverless train travelled at top speed. Authorities are investigating the incident and unions are demanding safety checks.
8 a.m. this morning, a packed Metro pulls out of Chatswood Station with the door jammed open. You can hear it gather speed. It's a white-knuckle ride reaching 100k an hour. 2 Metro workers in black stand at the opening to stop anyone falling out. One of the workers hits his two-way radio. After 2 minutes, the driverless train is brought to a halt by the control centre. What do you think when you see that?
Horror.
Yeah? Dangerous?
Absolutely. Appalling. I mean, someone could fall out.
That's terrible in terms of safety. Daniel Williams is the boss of Metro Trains Sydney.
It's never a great look, but one thing I can assure people is this Metro is very safe.
That's not how the union sees it. It wants the Metro to stop so safety checks can be carried out.
We can't have the people of New South Wales putting themselves at risk of harm and at risk of death because Sydney Metro, MTS and the New South Wales government wants the train to run on time every time.
A key question is, why was the train allowed to leave Chatswood Station with the doors open? It seems someone decided to override the safety system and allowed the train to continue.
That was not the correct procedure. That normally would have been followed in these circumstances.
After the train stopped near Crow's Nest Station, Metro staff used special keys to manually close the door, allowing it to continue the daredevil ride over for commuters. Mark Burrows, NBN News.
Virginia Giuffre will face court next week after allegedly breaching a family violence restraining order. The news follows an Instagram post yesterday where Prince Andrew's accuser said she only has days to live. Ms Giuffre's family has since clarified that the post was intended for her private Facebook page. In a matter of hours, Donald Trump's expected to announce sweeping new tariffs targeting goods around the world. The US president has dubbed the occasion Liberation Day, with a plan to impose charges on a range of products, including from Australia.
Big on the build-up, but light on the details. Trump's tariff blitz might be ready to roll out, but exactly what is coming is a mystery.
This is obviously a very big day. He's with his trade and tariff team right now, perfecting it to make sure this is a perfect deal for the American people and the American worker.
The final details are hours away, but the US president has teased a 25% tariff on all foreign-made cars, another 25% on Canadian and Mexican imports, and reciprocal tariffs on any country who imposes duties on the US. But the damning and potentially most damaging move would be the draft proposal for a 20% tariff on most imports to the United States.
They're reciprocal, so whatever they charge us, we charge them, but we're being nicer than they were.
It may be rocky in the beginning, but I think that this will make sense for Americans and it will help all Americans.
The tense wait is stoking uncertainty. Australia will almost certainly face the pain. Among our exports expected to be affected, Aussie beef. The Prime Minister not ruling out taking the Trump administration to the World Trade Organization.
I'm not engaging in hypotheticals. Because if you do that, we're still in discussions.
If I needed to have a fight with Donald Trump or any other world leader to advance our nation's interests, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Australia not the only American ally expecting to be hit.
I will reject all attempts to weaken Canada.
Europe too, vowing to retaliate.
Europe did not start this confrontation. We have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity.
The US president's formal announcement will be made from the White House tomorrow, where his tariffs will come into effect immediately. Tonight, the world on the brink of a trade war with Trump, who's vowing he won't back down. In the United States, Lauren Tomasi, NBN News.
US prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing the CEO of a health insurance company in New York last year. They've called the alleged murder of Brian Thompson a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination. Mangione is due to reappear in court later this month. A 63-year-old woman has been pulled alive from rubble 91 hours after Myanmar's devastating earthquake. The country's military rulers say more than 2,700 people are now confirmed dead, and that toll is sadly expected to rise, with rescue crews yet to reach many areas hit by the 7.7 magnitude quake. A United Nations plane has crash-landed in Somalia's capital after its front landing gear failed. 22 people were on board, but no injuries have been reported, with a small fire extinguished shortly after the aircraft came down. King Charles appeared in good spirits during his first public engagement since going to hospital due to side effects from cancer treatment. The 76-year-old hosted an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle to recognise community leaders. Last week's incident has been described as a bump in the road. A new volcanic eruption in Iceland has forced the evacuation of residents and tourists. Lava has been spewing from a crack in the ground at Grindavik, which has already grown to 1.2 kilometres long. Despite the warnings to leave, up to 8 locals have chosen to stay. The Star gambling and entertainment company is tonight on the brink of collapse after a rescue deal fell apart. Finance editor Chris Kohler has the details.
It's looking like the cards may be stacked against a recovery for Star Entertainment as the once huge casino company circles the drain. A bailout deal worth more than $900 million has fallen through, once again leaving Star on the edge. It's now desperately seeking cash injections, but this is now a long story. 3 years ago, the share price was $2.74. Now it's manually halted at 11 cents. It may try to sell assets or part of its own business. Ground. And worry is usually good for gold, and that's certainly been true lately. The yellow metal is at a record high, marking its best quarter since 1986. The Australian dollar is buying less than 63 US cents, 58 euro cents and 49 British pence.
A warning has been issued regarding the popular smartwatch brand Fitbit. The batteries in the Sense and Versa 3 models could overheat and may cause burns. Instead of returning the devices, customers are being told to install the latest firmware update. Getting after-hours healthcare can be difficult, but the woman you're about to meet has helped people do just that for decades. Annette Carruthers is the doctor behind one of the Hunter's most crucial services, and she's the subject of tonight's Your Story.
A GP for almost 50 years, it's fair to say Dr Annette Carruthers has improved healthcare in the Hunter. In 1999, she started GP Access After Hours, initially a pilot program at Maitland, helping people see a doctor outside the 9 to 5.
A new after-hours service was launched today, aiming to slash the waiting period and get assistance to people when they need it.
And taking pressure off emergency departments. In 2003, it became permanent and region-wide.
We worked at the time with Hunter Area Health Service to co-locate 4 centres at Maitland, Belmont, John Hunter and the Mater Hospital, and there's another one out at Toronto.
Around 250 local GPs signed up to the Australian First program.
That was a real game changer for Newcastle and the Hunter region. It was a local solution to a local issue,
allowing patients to be seen sooner by some of the region's most qualified medical practitioners.
I loved the way the GPs all worked together. We were minding their patients.
It's unimaginable what this region would be like without GP Access After Hours.
More than 2 decades on, GP Access now treats 50,000 patients a year, and more than 90% of them are seen within 30 minutes. And while the service has experienced funding issues in the past,
I think we have a grant for 6 years at the moment. That's the longest one we've ever had.
It's one of a long list of health contributions by Dr Carruthers, who's also on the board of Headspace and Calvary Healthcare, and has been named a member of the Order of Australia for her service to the community. But GP Access remains one of her proudest achievements.
What do you think that other regions could take away from this model of service?
You need systems where the GPs can come together and try and problem solve. We would much rather prevent illnesses like diabetes and heart attacks and respiratory problems by lots of preventative advice.
Lauren Kemp, NBN News.
All we can say is thank you. Time now for Sport with Adam Murray. Adam, the future looks bright for Phoenix Crossland.
It certainly does. Good evening, Gav. He's been able to lock down the Knights' number 9 jersey and a contract extension. But what he really wants is to bring a premiership to Newcastle. Our exclusive chat next. Plus, NRL players and coaches bracing for a tackle crackdown. And Josh Giddey fires again for the Bulls as they charge towards the NBA playoffs.
Want in on my secret to lifted skin? New Olay Super Collagen Peptides with 25 times more collagen peptides. It lifts sagging skin and visibly reduces deep wrinkles in just 28 days. New Olay for lifted skin.
Grandpa!
Make
Easter sparkle with the Lindt Gold Bunny. Now available in salted caramel.
It's Tweedledum or Tweedledee. The same policies. They love each other. Reject the uniparty. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Anne Favager for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
I punt with Ladbrokes because they have more ways to chuck on a multi than Glen Boss has cups to drink from.
Have you fed the dog?
Multi your way with Ladbrokes. Go you good thing.
You win some, you lose more.
Take charge of autumn with Stihl. Save up to $50 on our popular home chainsaws. And clean up with $50 off our powerful battery blower and shredder vac. Only from Stihl dealers. And Stihl shop online today.
Rough cold, bro. Try Vicks Vapor Drops Extra Strong. How's the nose and throat? Try new extra soothing Vapor Drops with real honey.
Need absorbent underwear that's got your back and front? Connie's reusable absorbent underwear keeps you confident, feels secure, comfortable and protected with Connie.
Retire with 2024's Super Fund of the Year, so you can stop working and keep earning. With super advice and super returns, Aware Super helps you find your rhythm of retirement. That's super helpful.
Don't let heel pain hold you back. Good Feet Art supports a clinically proven relief from plantar fasciitis and the pain in the balls of your feet. Head to goodfeet.com/au to find your nearest store and don't let pain sideline you any longer.
Go Harvey Norman for Dyson's new invention that washes hard floors properly. Microfiber rollers use clean water to wash, then finish, cleaning your hard floors, then itself. Powerful hygienic washing of hard floors at Harvey Norman now.
There's nowhere else Phoenix Crossland would rather play than at the Knights. Now he's committed to being a one-club man. The Newcastle junior opening up on his recent decision to sign on until 2028, a move fuelled by his passion to bring a premiership home.
When he's not on the footy field, this is where you'll find Phoenix Crossland.
I come down to Redhead here and you know, all the boys, figure in my life. He's been sort of that guy for me, and yeah, he's been massive, I guess. Yeah, when the Knights came to me, he was probably the first person I sort of had a chat with.
The premiership winning lock is the father of Crossland's partner, Mia.
I think it probably annoys the rest of the family that we go for family dinners and it ends up just being about footy most of the time, but we both love it. He lets me know he's won 2 and I've got none, so I've got a bit of catching up to do, so hopefully do it one day.
Away from the Hunter, Crossland says representing his family's New Zealand heritage is one of his proudest moments to date.
Pull the jersey on and sing the anthem is, yeah, it was the best time of my life, to be honest, being around that playing group and, you know, the environment and energy that they have there in NZ's something I just want to be a part of.
But at the top of his list is bringing a trophy home to Newcastle, and he believes the Knights have the playing group to do it.
Obviously a few good signings with Sharpie and, you know, Dill Brown coming, which is exciting, so I'm really excited for the future of the club and to be a part of it's really, really amazing.
Montana Clare, NBN News.
Players and coaches are preparing for a head contact crackdown after an NRL order that will see any forceful contact with the head penalised with a sin bin. Sharks coach Craig Fitzgibbon says he just wants consistency.
If it's just consistent, it's consistent. Everyone knows what you're dealing with. It's just when it changes. So, and for the refs and the bunkers, the more times we change it, the more they've got to focus on things. So if we stay consistent, we'll be consistent. But I don't. Yeah, no one wants to see high shots in the game, but we also don't want to see players going off every few minutes. So there's a balance they've got to get right.
Meanwhile, Cronulla's Kale Iro and Sifa Talakai will miss tomorrow's match against the Raiders due to injury. An unhappy night in the Indian Premier League for Mitch Marsh, who was dismissed for a golden duck playing for Lucknow. The Super Giants were bowled out for 171 by Punjab, Glenn Maxwell taking 1 for 22. He wasn't required to bat, with the Kings reaching the target with 22 balls to spare. Josh Giddey is one step closer to the NBA playoffs. The Aussie picking up a double-double to lead the Bulls past the Raptors and secure a spot in the Eastern Conference play-in tournament.
It is so nuanced with the gather step. There's another assist. That's 10 of them for Giddey, another double-double.
Elsewhere, Dyson Daniels had 22 points and 10 rebounds in the Hawks lost to the Trailblazers. Next, it's on. A fight over judges settled before Tim Zoo's Newcastle bout, and a Premier League minnow close to making one of football's biggest stages.
The federal election has been announced. It's important that you're enrolled to vote and your details are up to date. If you've recently changed your name or address, turned 18 or become an Australian citizen, you must update your details or enrol now. Head to aec.gov.au or pick up an enrolment form at any AEC office and return it to the AEC before 8 p.m. on Monday, 7th of April. Your vote will help shape Australia. Authorised by the Electoral Commissioner, Canberra.
A house frame made from TrueCore steel stays strong and true. For a home that's built to last, choose the inner strength of TrueCore steel.
Increased cost of living means 3.7 million families go to bed hungry each night. Throw the politicians out. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by NBN for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
Easter's calling. Get out there and camp more with up to 50% off camp furniture from these great brands. Explore more ways to play and save this Easter. Play more and pay less at Anaconda.
Extreme hair damage versus 3-minute miracle. Who's gonna win? This is Pantene Miracles, and this is how it repairs 3 months of damage in 3 minutes. My hair wins thanks to the Pro-V formula with collagen. New Pantene Miracles, now also available in Hyaluron.
Wouldn't it be nice if things were a little more useful? At Origin, we're making it happen. From helping you go solar to customer service and everything in between. That's all kinds of useful.
Score a double laundry cashback up to a massive $800 at Better. That's $800 cashback on this Beko 9-kilo washer and heat pump dryer pair. Or this Westinghouse washer and dryer pair, $700 cashback. In-store this week only at your local Better.
Don't let heel pain hold you back. Good Feet Art supports a clinically proven relief from plantar fasciitis and the pain in the balls of your feet. Head to goodfeet.com/au to find your nearest store, and don't let pain sideline you any longer.
Blackout sale is now on at 40 Winks. Embrace the darkness with 50% off a select range of mattresses and 30% off selected furniture. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. This sale is for a limited time only. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
The Smart Energy Council has costed Dutton's nuclear plant at $600 billion. Why would we pay that much to supply under 4% of the grid?
And the CSIRO says nuclear is way more expensive than renewables. So why would that help my power bills?
I get nuclear in other countries, but why on the sunniest continent on Earth?
With solar and batteries getting cheaper and cheaper, why do we need nuclear? Dutton's nuclear plan. Why?
Authorised by MRIP for the Communications, Electrical and Plumbing Union, Sydney.
This report brought to you by Cox Mowers. Cox, proudly engineered Aussie tough for over 70 years.
Tim Zoo's much anticipated return to the ring in Newcastle. Is edging closer to locking in a Champions League spot as part of an incredible climb up the Premier League pecking order. This morning's 1-0 win over Manchester United keeps Forest third on the ladder, 8 points ahead of Chelsea. Second-placed Arsenal defeated Fulham 2-1, but the Gunners still trail Liverpool by 9 points. There's still no official comment from the Jets following news coach Rob Stanton was handed a termination notice on Monday. Despite the club's decision, he will see out the remainder of the A-League season. There are reports Newcastle is close to locking in former Jet Mark Milligan as Stanton's replacement. It's a first for rugby league, and players say there's no better place for it than Newcastle. The city will host the NRLW's inaugural Magic Round in August. Today's launch of ticket sales accompanied by a few tricks.
6 games over 2 days set to light up McDonald Jones Stadium.
I was so excited to hear that we're getting a Magic Round in NRLW, and then to hear that it's going to be in Newcastle was just the icing on the cake.
Tickets are now on sale for the Round 5 spectacle, and they're expected to fly out the door. Despite captaining the Roosters, Isabel Kelly says there's no better place to hold it, with 60,000 fans tipped to attend.
As much as when I'm not in a New South Wales jersey, it's very hard to play here, but it's the fans, the people that come and support, the whole town gets around it.
I think all Novocastrians are passionate about rugby league, and they really come out and support us, and they're very vocal about it. So I love that when teams have to come up here that they don't like it because of our fans, because they're so passionate about us.
The NRLW season kicks off on July 5. Before that, Newcastle will also play host to Game 3 of the Women's State of Origin series on May 29, after a record-breaking turnout in 2024.
Last year we had that State of Origin game in torrential rain and still had so many supporters come out to support the NRLW. So to be able to be recognised and have another State of Origin game and then Magic Round on top of that, it's just, I think it's a credit to the supporters here in Newcastle.
Montana Clare, NBN News.
After winning the Andrew Johns Cup last weekend, the Knights are now chasing more junior success. Their Harold Matthews and Lisa Fiola Cup teams have made the finals, while the SG Ball side must win this weekend to keep its top 8 chances alive.
We've worked really hard over the last few years on our pathways, our connection to community, and to show the young men and women of Newcastle and the surrounding areas that there's a genuine pathway for them to play NRL and NRLW.
The SG Ball Knights take on the last-placed Dragons on Saturday. Some of Newcastle Rugby League's biggest names have called time on their representative careers after completing a country championships three-peat. But Rebels coach Garth Brennan is confident they've created a lasting legacy.
3 days on and Garth Brennan's blood pressure has finally dropped after a nail-biting decider in Canberra.
We had to win it twice, you know, we were 28-12 and then they got back to 28-all and we had to win it again. So it goes to show the character of the players that they dug in and found that little bit extra to finally get the result.
The side's experienced campaigners again stepped up on the big stage to topple a courageous Northern Rivers side.
Chad O'Donnell's kicking game was outstanding and his relationship with Soaps, you know, won us the game.
It was, however, the last time in a Rebels jersey for Chad O'Donnell, Matt Sopalorla, Cameron Anderson and James Taylor. But they and Brennan are confident the next generation is ready to take the reins.
The way they've mentored those young guys has been great. They're the future.
Newcastle is again expected to dominate the country squad, which will take on City next month. But first, attention turns to next weekend's URL season-opening Magic Round at number 1 Sports Ground.
I can't thank the coaches enough for supporting it, and fortunate enough the players are going back fit and healthy, and I think it's going to be one hell of a competition.
Pre-season trials are in full swing. Last night, Maitland hosted the Northern Hawks. Kaya Cooper scored a double for the visitors, but the 3-time defending premiers came out on top 26-20.
Gav, I can't wait for this season to kick off.
Yeah, closing in fast now. All right, thank you, Adam. So too is the end of daylight saving. That cloud is already clearing. Weather details straight after the break.
Lazy Larry, the self-proclaimed billionaire, making tenants live in filth.
That's human feces on the ground.
A current affair next.
What does medical research look like? Become involved in local research with global impact. Hunter Medical Research Institute.
I'm going to take over the world!
Dogman, go and arrest Petey. Why do you always gotta lick the inside of my mouth?
How evil can one cat be?
Pretty evil!
Dogman, in cinemas April 3.
Give your home a fresh look with 20% off all lights and 15% off all fans at Beacon's Home Reno sale. That's 20% off lights and 15% off fans at Beacon. Sale on now.
When a cold disturbs your family's sleep, Vicks Vapor Rub relieves cough, nasal congestion, headaches and muscle aches. They sleep, you sleep. Vicks Vapor Rub. And try the new Vicks Lavender range.
Tripadeal's travel bonus offer is on now. Experience 2-for-1 unbeatable Japan from $4,999 for 2 people, including Qantas flights. Uncover the wonders of vibrant Tokyo. Set foot on mighty Mount.
Get reminders and earn rewards for you and your family. Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
The new Hot Honey range has dropped at Macca's with the Hot Honey McSpicy, the Hot Honey Dipping Sauce, and the Hot Honey McCrispy. Embrace the drip at Macca's.
We're on fire. Huge drop into the water, total chaos.
Sounds wild, especially over the loudspeaker.
Good job, everyone. That was a drill.
Not thinking straight? A Dare Fix will fix it.
I love having Red Energy on my team, and I think you will too. So if you want real Aussie energy, give Red a call today on 131 806.
Are you thinking al fresco and looking for something simple? Call HV Aluminium.
Are you looking for something stylish? Call HV Aluminium.
Or are looking for ideas to design something stunning?
If you're thinking al fresco, call or visit HV Aluminium New Lambton, 1800 801 572.
A help company would get people back on their feet, make complicated stuff simple, and even try to predict the unpredictable. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
Overcast today with a little bit of light patchy rain about. There's a defined end of this cloud bank. It's already cleared from the Central Coast and beginning to clear from the Greater Hunter. Let's take a look at the satellite and you'll see the bottom edge of that defined cloud bank that has linked up with the low now in the Tasman and extends all the way across Queensland to the Gulf country. It is absolutely enormous, but we are right on the southern edge. It's clearing and for us it will be gone. So it'll contract into northern New South Wales and Queensland tomorrow. The low is also now pulling away from the coast. So conditions easing all around. The swell will back off. The cloud will be gone and we actually have a fabulous run of dry weather. There's some of that light drizzle and those patchy falls of rain pushing through, beginning to clear now. That cloud bank certainly kept temperatures down, only maxed out in the low 20s. But we saw some sunshine on the Central Coast and that allowed it to climb to 24 after beginning at 21. Tomorrow much warmer, mid to high 20s. It's looking good. It's going to be a lovely day. Shaping up nicely. We've got plenty more to back it up as well. The swell is going to settle very, very quickly. It'll drop off fast throughout tomorrow. Sun to rise, 7:05. It's having a lovely sleep in at the moment. Loves this week, sleeping in pretty much half the morning. We're looking at the tidal information with the low dropping to and getting there just before 7:30 and then back to the high in the afternoon at about 1:30. As we check into this forecast, that's what we wanted to see. Absolutely glorious conditions. It's going to feel a lot like autumn with those cool mornings. They're going to be crisp and lovely. There's a little bit of a southerly coming through, and it's actually got some cold air in it. That will be arriving around this time next week, Tuesday into Wednesday. Not having much of an impact throughout the valley, just some cloud there, but you've got a lovely weekend on the way. It's going to be absolutely glorious, particularly after all of the rain, so it will be looking fabulous right across the valley floor. Central Coast, looking forward to some dry weather also. Not much in that shower forecast there for Friday. Generally fine and very comfortable conditions with the mid-20s on the way. You've got some beautiful beach weather also set to return. Let's go to the surf. It's been backing off already. We've had some favourable winds. They've certainly eased, and we've got more favourable winds on the way. But you want to make the most of it pretty fast because it will be dropping off. There's going to be a lot of opportunities opened up now with those winds switching and that swell dropping over the next couple of days, and then really easing, but then you'll be able to hit the sand because the sun and the warmth will return. So better days ahead, particularly for northern New South Wales and southeast Queensland. A current affair is next. Thanks for your company from all. Good night.